Can you walk on a wooden path only 30 centimeters wide on one of the most dangerous mountains in the world, risking your life with every step? Below you is a cliff hundreds of meters deep, and all around you are pine trees, sky, and sharp rocks. This is a truly terrifying place. But Mount Huashan in Shaanxi Province, China, is a majestic place where crazy adventurers test their courage with adrenaline-fueled hiking trails at every step. For centuries, this mountain has been attracting both adventurers and spiritual seekers. However, Huashan doesn't only test your courage, it also takes you deep into Chinese culture. Mount Huashan, one of China's famous 5 sacred mountains, is of great importance for both Taoism and Chinese civilization. Named after the character Hua, this mountain bears deep traces of the origins of Chinese civilization. The Hua in the Chinese words Zhonghua and Huaxia comes directly from Huashan. There are dozens of Taoist temples on the peaks and foothills of the mountain. For centuries, monks and pilgrims have been visiting these temples for meditation and worship. According to legends, wise men have sought immortality on the peaks of Mount Huashan. Huashan is seen as a spiritual guide in Chinese culture and is a symbol of both a physical and spiritual journey. Huashan is actually a mountain range and has 5 major peaks. These are Yuntai Peak in the north, Luoyang Peak in the south, Chaoyang Peak in the east, Lianhua Peak in the west, and Yundev Peak in the central part. The lowest of these peaks is Yuntai Peak in the north at 1,614 meters, while the highest is Luoyang Peak in the south at 2,155 meters. To reach the trails on the other peaks, you must first reach Yuntai Peak. There are quite dangerous trails on each peak. For example, one of them is the famous Black Dragon Ridge. This slope is called Kenglong, which means Black Dragon, because it is likened to a flying black dragon. The trail on the Black Dragon Ridge, like the others, is only one person, a narrow and steep path. There are very dangerous trails on every peak. It would not be wrong to call most of them climbing trails instead of walking trails, because you have to use your hands on almost every trail. So where is the most dangerous part of Mount Huashan? Now let's go to the most frightening place that will untie your knees and tear your heart out. Huashan's highest peak, South Peak, is also home to the mountain's most famous trail, Chengkong Plank Trail. To walk on this plank trail built into the side of the cliff, you have to hold on to thick iron chains nailed to the rock. The width of the interlocking planks is only 30 centimeters. The trail is usually one way, and once you enter, you have to keep going. Looking down, it is impossible to see the bottom of the cliff, which is hundreds of meters deep. It can also be dizzying to look down, so travelers are advised to wear a seatbelt and walk facing the rock. Despite this, there are people who do crazy things in this narrow place. Some cross the trail at night to see the sunrise, others to avoid seeing this deep abyss. It is believed that this boardwalk was built by a Taoist sect on Mount Huashan. Taoists have been ascending these peaks for thousands of years. To reach the summits, you need grit and determination as well as courage. These trails on Mount Huashan aren't only a physical test, but also a mental and inner journey. With its dangerous trails, breathtaking scenery, and deep cultural meaning, Mount Huashan continues to attract adventurers and spiritual seekers from around the world. So can you imagine yourself on these peaks?